Okay, so 6:21 on the 31st. So today's the big day for the Reddit prophecy to see if this is when something's going to happen over in California, which I saw a post that was showing there's tons and tons of little earthquakes happening. So there's tons of little earthquakes going. But I just saw this video that was really kind of spooky. So, anyways, I'll talk about it first. So this lady, I think she's in Utah, and so she said the Salt Lake is drying up, and she was explaining it's full of a bunch of chemicals, and it's drying up and it's creating dust, and she was explaining how it starts to, I don't know, create this system so that it starts like bubbling or something because the chemicals or something. I'm not sure. I'll share the video in the thing because she explains it, like, because I don't know about all this. So she said it's gonna blow. It's gonna blow, and a lot of people know that it's gonna blow. And she said it's gonna wipe Utah out. It's gonna kill millions of people. And she said that right now one of her friends is in Tequila, and which is a really small little town next to a lake, and she said that she had been feeling so sick that she went to either urgent or emergency care, and there was 700 people waiting to be seen with the same thing, and they were all just getting prescribed antibiotics. And she said that it's because of what's in the dust is going up in the air, and everybody's getting sick, and it's spreading all over the place. And so she explained how it was going to blow by this thing, whatever's happening, to the lake, which there's a lot of weird stuff about Utah. And so I went and looked up where Utah is comparison to where I'm at. And so let me see if I can do it again. So California, Oregon's right above California. Right above that is Washington State. But they're all kind of in different shapes. Oregon and Washington State are kind of similar in how far they go, but California doesn't go all the way over. So Utah is right there, and Nevada is right here. And where was Arizona? Because New Mexico and Arizona. So as soon as you cross out California, it's Nevada. And then you cross through Arizona. And you go down below that, it'd be New Mexico. You cross across there, you'd be Texas. You go up from there, you'd be Oklahoma. You go across from there, you'd be Colorado. You go up from there, you'd be Montana. Montana, so Idaho is a weird shape, kind of, like Florida is a weird shape or something. Well, Florida is kind of more, Idaho is a weird shape because it goes up. I'm sitting here looking up here. So it goes up like that, and then it gets bigger down here. So it has this it's like a boot. And northern Idaho is way different than southern Idaho. And so it's like separate world. But when you cross out of Washington State, or like I'm at the border of Oregon, and so when you cross out of Washington State, then you have to go through the boot of Idaho, and then you're in Montana, and then there's Wyoming, and then you drop down, and let's see, and where's North, South, and South Dakota is. So you cross into Montana. So I think it's the Dakotas. Then it's Wyoming. So it's North Dakota and South Dakota. And above that, above Washington State, above Montana, above northern Idaho is all Canada. So Canada runs along there. And then going down, then you have Colorado, and then you have New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, and then you have Kansas, Nebraska. I don't know all of the other side of like how everything is set up. I've traveled a lot over here. I've lived in a lot of places. And so then I was looking at the map to see, and yesterday I was looking at the map because I saw a video about this area too that was interesting, and I'll tell that in a second. But so this because it goes kind of along with what I have been talking about. And so this, so I went to look and see where exactly is Utah, because I just was talking about that the other day. I was like, "Huh, where is Utah exactly?" So I went and looked, and so this Salt Lake too is okay. So you have Oregon, and then you have Idaho, and then you have down here is Utah. So this, man, I'd have to look again to see. I think this would be Arizona. And as I know, when you're going down to travel to go to Southern California, you have to go through Arizona. You need to go through Utah. Then you have to go through Arizona, Nevada, and then you go all through the California desert. But but there's other ways you can go too, because you can go over and you go down the coastline. But I've gone this direction. And so, oh yeah, and when we came back, we went through Arizona, Utah, up into Montana. I had to cross up through Montana. This is where we the deer hit into it. This was the scariest drive of my fucking life. I swear to God, when I was just thinking about this the other day with number 4, just like, I don't know, some things you look back in your life and you're just kicking yourself in the ass. Like, what was I doing? What was I thinking? Another person too came streaming in, and I was like, how did I even meet him? What a fucking nightmare this guy. God, I swear to God. And when you have to replay back through your choices, it's just like, oh my God, what was I doing? So so we had to cross through Montana and then go through Idaho, and it's fucking mountain passes and shit. And that's where the big elk ran into our car. And then it was the scariest fucking drive. Oh my God, it was a fucking nightmare. And of course it was with somebody who was like, oh, just God damn it. So but that's how life works. You know, that's what it's supposed to be, is, you know, lessons. So the so the Idaho, okay, so I was looking at the map. So up there is like this boot, and so it's not huge. You can drive through Idaho pretty quick to get over to Montana from Washington. And it's not like this long drive. Like when you get into Montana, you're driving and driving and driving. When you get into California, you're driving and driving and driving. When you go through northern Idaho, it's like, I don't know, maybe it takes an hour and a half or 2 hours or something. It's not a huge long drive. And so, so then it could be longer than that. I don't know. It's just, I know it's short, but you do have some fucking wicked ass passes. So then but so down on the north, when it goes down to the southern part, you have lots of mountains and stuff. Like you have to go through all these different mountains and stuff everywhere over here on the west coast. Like, I don't know, I know there's lots of mountains on the east coast too, because you have the Appalachian and stuff like that. So which they're having crazy weather over there. It's turned frigid. It's so fucking cold here too. It's turned like, it's like I don't even want to go out. I just want to sit in here and fucking blankets. I'm just cold. And last night was fucking fuckery, man. I cannot believe the sensations going through my body. The dogs couldn't sleep. It was hellacious. It was just like, what in the, it's like the energy is just cranked up. And at one point, Ruthie wanted to go out, which Ruthie and I brought in the donut beds, and so we got, Ruthie is really into it, this one. So I got Archie and Ruthie that always want to be on top of me. They are right below my feet in their little donut beds. But so Ruthie had wanted to go out in the middle of the night, so she went. And again, it was so freaking bright. I couldn't believe it. It was like somebody had a light on in the backyard. And so I knew the moon had to be right up there, because I looked out and I couldn't see it right there. So I knew it had to be like right there. And yesterday, all day, it was over there. I know you can't tell where I'm, and I don't know north, south, east, and west and stuff. And fuck if I know. I know like this area I'm in is called Treasure Valley. It's this giant valley and it's full of farms and the river and stuff. But but I don't know. So if I'm going towards Caldwell, would that be north? No, it would be going east, I think. I think it would be going east. But again, I don't know. But so the moon was in a totally different place yesterday, and it was over there, and it was just sitting there all day long. And it was really pretty big from compared to like what was it, like a week and a half ago or something. I said it was like a crescent, and then right away it was bigger than that, and now it's like 3/4. It's almost a full moon. It's like this seems to really rush through this cycle. Like it's really strange, and so there's something so off on time, and I swear to God they're doing something. It's like I don't know, something, there's something real weird going on about it. And so it's almost like they fucking turn it off, turn this world off, and we all just go to, I don't know what the fuck. So anyways, so I was sitting over there all day long. I did a video even showing, because I was just sitting over there all day. It was pretty low. And so then in the night, when I let her out, then I knew it was moving. And then there was some UAPs or whatever you want to call them, stars or whatever, and they were going crazy. They weren't set in formation again, but they were, there was like a lot of them moving around and blinking and stuff like that. And not like moving like planes or anything. Because there's always people, oh, well, that's airplanes. What do I think? I can't even believe when people come in and say, well, get off the drugs, lady. Why don't you just lay off the liquor? It's like, shut the fuck up. God damn. Why don't you lay off being rude and hateful? Why don't you try that? Which, by the way, I will again say, I don't drink or do drugs or anything. So, so when it was up there, then I knew it was moving, and you know, with the whole light, the yard was so light. And then again, when was it? Oh, maybe it was when we got up. It was so uncomfortable last night. It was so fucking fucked. It was like oh my God, it was so fucked. But then, so I think it was around 4. And when I opened it, then the moon was way over to the side, which I said it doesn't come over there. The only times it comes over there was when it's about to be full, and it goes really low. And it's like really weird. And so it's way over there, across from where it was, way over there, and it's super low. And it's so funny too, because then people will be like, well, you know, it's got to go down and go around. And just watch. It'll be in the daytime. It'll be sitting over here. It's like, China, what's going on with your moon? Or Australia, wherever the hell they're trying to tell us. Then, so when I went out there, and it was really, really low and orange, so bright and orange. And it's just like blaring light. And I did a video again to show that. And then I showed a couple other things up in the sky, but you could see them. I started watching, I got a telescope and started watching them along like 2016 or something. And you can see them. And it's like when you go up close, it's like these red and green lights, and they're like spinning and stuff. And you know, it's obvious it's not a goddamn star like they've told us. So anyways, the sky, what was it fucking talking all about? Just a horrible night, and the moon and the way it moves and stuff. But anyways, let's go back to what I was talking about before. So the Salt Lake, okay, so Utah was, when I was looking on the map, it was like, okay, so Salt Lake looks like it's not very far from Boise. And Boise's the bigger town in Idaho. And it might even be the capital. It could be the capital. I don't know. It's not like a huge big city. It's not like a metropolis or something, but it's a big city. And there's lots of cities out on the outskirts. Lots. And so, I mean, it's just like lots and lots of little towns, lots and lots of little cities all over the place. And so so if that blew, I would think it would definitely affect over there. If it blows out all this whatever it is, it's going to blow. Because that's one of the things too that I talked about, the volcano that was next to me, because I was talking on the HOA, the president, when I was on what was I don't know what I was on there, treasurer or something, I don't remember. But so she told me that the concern with the Mount Baker, with the volcano there, was because it was gas. And she said the gas ones can be way worse because they put out toxic gases that can kill people, and it'll just kill all the people. And so that's what it was sounding like this lady was talking about with this Salt Lake, which, oh, fuck, I don't know. Maybe there's a volcano underneath it. I don't know. But there's a lot of weird stuff historically with Utah. And but the way that the place is supposed to blow, like the way that it's the map on the West Coast changes, and just like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago I was saying I don't know what happens to take this big chunk out of the way it goes, because it doesn't just affect the coastline, it takes this huge chunk out. And now I'd have to go back and look and see on the Doomsday map if that includes Utah, because I can't remember, but I remember it took part of Colorado, so Utah may be gone, and maybe that's where the centralized thing that happens is this lake, these chemicals or something, whatever's going on there. This girl was saying, please, everybody, pay attention and get the hell out of Utah. Everybody, get the hell out of Utah. Look at all the places. Just like, get the hell out of this place. Get the hell out of this place. It's like, oh, it's like so much going on. I'm like, fuck. And so, oh yeah, which the Christmas situation. I got to talk about that too. So anyways, I don't know. I mean, if that's what's going to blow, I'm going to look at the Doomsday map after this and see if that is, if it is on there, if Utah's on there, as I can't remember. I remember, lots of places are gone. I think all of California, all of Arizona, all of Nevada, parts of New Mexico, parts of Washington, most of Washington State and Oregon. And so that's where I got to look and see about the Utah thing. But if you would think if that blew, but it is kind of, it is like, because if Boise's here and then Salt Lake is here and it blew, but it seems like it would blow equally out. So I don't know if that's the central zone of whatever disaster happens that messes up this part of the West Coast. I'm not sure. But the other thing I had seen was yesterday, and this girl was talking about Rome, and there's a Rome, Idaho. And when you go, there's all these, like, it looks like old pillars, like old buildings and stuff. And she was saying that there's evidence that that's where the Rome that we are, you know, Julius Caesar and stuff like that was there. And that there's like all these battles and stuff that happen over there. And so I went to look at the map, because when she was showing, I was like, ooh, that's really close to where I'm at. So I went and looked to see where that was. And it looks like it's like 100 miles away from me. And but I had said, like, this area seems to be affected by things that happened in the past. And I still think here where I'm at, and my brother had said there's tons and tons of arrowheads down by the river. And so I still think over here where I'm at, and it's on the Oregon Trail. So it was the explorers going across there. And like I was telling you the other day, they sent out these like scouts, and there was battles that went on to like clear the space, clear the trail for these guys to continue their explorative journey. But they were wiping out tribes and stuff and fighting with tribes in this excursion. And so there was battles along the Oregon Trail that was very brutal. And so I think that is the energy on this area of something that happened. And it's so weird too, because like yesterday, for the past few days, there's been so much hunting. It's so unsettling, and it's in the dark too. It's like, what do you have? Like these green, whatever those red and green kind of things so you can see in the dark. It's so creepy. Yesterday I was doing some videos of the sky last night in the sunset time, and there was so much of the hunting going on, and you can hear it. And then I start doing another one, and there was so much, but I didn't realize I hadn't pushed the button, or you would have heard it. It was like insane. And so I don't know, there's just something about carrying that energy and this, you know, this continuing to just take out it, kind of like this what is its name, golem or Gallic Gallica or something, whatever this character is that's supposedly speaking from the Three Ayala and is telling about our history and about what's going on and stuff like that. It seems so accurate to me what he's saying, and I still don't know like if this is some kind of government run or AI run. Um, uh, what is that, content, so that it's about the disclosure. And so because it's super accurate. And there's just a bunch of stuff he was saying, and but stuff I feel like I've said. So you know, like, you know, all reptilians aren't bad, and there's lots of beings here to ascend, and that we are all connected, and that he was saying names about the planet before it was called Earth and what happened there, and that all these different beings and stuff, which included the reptiles, and he said even the Dracos, that they had to escape from this thing that happened around the dinosaur time, and that they were and that some of them are still on this in this mothership thing that has become their home, and that's the return. So I don't know if that's what this Atlas thing is going to end up being. I'm not sure. And it's weird how they're really not talking so much about it again. It's like all they were doing was flooding information about it. Now all of a sudden it's just like quiet. And so I don't know. But he was saying that they're all coming to us, and he was explaining how there was the good ones and the bad ones, just like there is with the humans. But then when the humans came and they began, part of our thing was to take care of the animals and to take care of the planet, and see what we've done. We don't. We do the opposite. And so that's what this whole awakening journey has to be about, facing the truth. And the truth is so much bigger. People think that the truth is all about the pervs and the government and all of the connection and stuff. And it's so much bigger. It's about what you've been paying attention to and what you haven't been paying attention to. It's about your soul. It's about the soul's journey. It's about what you're, you know, what you're here for. And so it's so much bigger than what people, you know, everybody thinks like disclosure is just being told that there's pervs out here running the world, and the connection between the real and them running the Zions, all of this stuff is like, and it's bigger than that. And then even the connection with the Z's and the vamps and stuff goes all the way back. It's like this going way back with these different beings that have tried to rule us, and it's our own ignorance that keeps us looking for someone to be over us, which he said too, this character, that is in order to go up into the higher vibrations, you have to not have you can't be worshiping somebody else. You can't be like looking for a savior, worshiping God, because you have to go into equality. And all of these different beings aren't out there trying to be gods and stuff. It's it's like a formatted reality of an illusion that keeps people trapped, but it's not the truth. And so that to me is the truth. The disclosure is going to be way bigger than what people have in mind of what's going to be being disclosed. And so anyways, but I think it's, getting closer, but it kind of trips me out of how over here, like when there was all that stuff going on in Ohio, and it was like Jerusalem, Ohio, in all of these places, the names of them, I was like, that is so weird. And then the Rome and stuff. So I don't know. There's a whole conspiracy group around this. All this stuff happening here in the Grand Canyon, all this stuff being here that they told us is somewhere else. But then there's evidence in other places too. So I don't know. I have no idea what the hell is. But I would say there's going to be more coming out about the truth. And one thing about all this stuff is it's different realities. It's like different space bubbles of time and space of experience. And so it's not as connected as what we want to weave together. And so I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know if fucking Caesar was over here battling 100 miles from here and all that energy and all of that. So I don't know. It kind of made me interested though to do a drive over there and see this place. I can't remember what it's called, like Rome National Park or something. I don't know. I have to look at that video again. But there's a girl doing a whole thing about these. I don't remember how it is that she started figuring it out, or she was looking in maps or something. I don't know, because there's all these people, and it's kind of like their role is to start looking at things and bringing things to the surface. And so all the different information, that you hear going around to me is like pertinent to our awakening. And even if some of it's not true, that is a practice on your discernment too. But there's a lot of stuff that is true out there. And so I don't know. I don't know how or what, who knows what today's going to bring. Are we going to have the giant earthquake that's going to come and hit and we're going to go into a huge disaster today? I have no idea. Whatever happens, we'll get through it. And like I said, it is all these people who pass, it's their exit strategy. It's their way out of this, to go and reevaluate, and it's like a focus on what it is they need to experience and learn and grow from. So, and everybody's soul knows exactly what to do. And like I said, it's like a gift because it's going to create so much change in the world, whatever's going to happen. So it is, and we're definitely getting closer. Whether it happens today or when it happens, I don't know, but definitely is getting closer. And who knows, maybe this Atlas thing is going to like land or something, but maybe it's not going to be for another year. I don't know. I saw this time traveler guy who's been going around for a while who says he's stuck in 2027, but somehow he can communicate with all of us. And he said Atlas is landing in 2027. So I don't know. I just have no idea. I mean, this place is just wacky. It's just full of wackiness. But the main thing is the focus on you, and focusing on, your morals and your integrity and, what you're doing here, your purpose, and the journey to self. It's a big thing. Oh, and there was a weird thing that happened with the monks. Like they were marching through somewhere in Georgia, and the people went wild. And it is kind of like it's one sense, they're being treated like rock stars by people. Huge, huge, huge crowds are going, but it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of so, the way everybody has their phone out. Everybody has their phone out trying to videotape this stuff. And it's just kind of like this really this is like the part of us that needs to heal. And it's bringing it to the surface. These guys, they had to be kind of like run and go and be hidden into a safe thing. I don't know what happened, but it was became dangerous or something. And so but I've seen some videos of, especially the one, he's so cute, the front guy. He must be the communicator of when they talk to and he is when he talks, he's just so peaceful and quiet. It's like, god dang, how do you get to that point? Like, here I am some of these times, like the dog's jumping on me, knocking me down and tearing shit up, and I'm like hollering. It's like, I don't know how to just be like, oh, let's just all sit and calmly. It's like, fuck, man. Is that our goal, to become this totally, or is that is it real to not show what you really feel? It's like, that's the fine line in there. Where is your peace? How do you find your peace? And are you being honest with your peace? Are you pretending to be peaceful? I'm not saying he's pretending. I mean, those guys, that's what their whole their whole purpose in life is, finding this place of peace and not being bothered by things. But anyways, it seems that they're being challenged by, and all these people. It's like, I don't know. I mean, it's cool that people want to see them, but are they doing it just to get video, just to go viral? Or do they really care about what these guys are doing? Do they really care about unity and peace and us all coming together and the point of what the walk is about? So I don't know. It's it's everybody's own journey, but it's definitely, at some points, becoming very chaotic. And then there's this whole thing with first I was seeing all these people asking their Alexa about how many days it is till Christmas, 2026. And Alexa keeps saying there's no Christmas holiday in 2026. And so then they ask about other holidays, and she gives them how many days until this one, how many days until that one. And then when they say about Christmas, it's like, there is no Christmas in 2026. And so now people are saying that Donald has said, this is the last Christmas. There is no more Christmases after this. And people are freaking out. And then they're drawing lines to, oh, so now he's a blue, and he is going, it's going to become our new thing, is like Hanukkah or something, like that's our new holiday. And we will no longer celebrate Jesus or something. I don't know. Everybody goes off on these things. But I would say, if there really is not going to be, it would be because we woke up and we saw that we were being lied to, and it's made up. It's a consumer holiday that they created to feed off of us, and the chaos and the disappointment and the angst around the holiday. And so and there's a lot of people who become super, super sad. There's a lot, I think, that people don't even realize how much of around the holidays, how many people do themselves in and feel it's like they feel lonely through life, but it comes to the holidays and all of a sudden it just impacts them so much harder, and they do themselves in. So there's it's not just based on this happy thing, and it definitely has nothing to do with Christ's birthday, and that's been proven by a lot of different groups, that it is nothing about this, Christ figure's birthday, in which, as sovereign beings, we shouldn't just be worshiping somebody's birthday like that anyways. We need to be more focused on, I don't know, like when you get down to the message, he was trying to tell you how you could become better, how you can become Christ-like, and that's what people need to focus on, is becoming exceptional, becoming their most advanced self, becoming godlike, not becoming secondary to a God over you. And when you're looking for God to be over you, like I've said before, you'll find one. There's one thing too where people are saying that they just it was just a mass slaughter by, I think, our government somewhere, and that they're saying it was really a big offering ritual to Molokai or something. I don't know, one of these god people. So, anyways, I don't know. I mean, things are all over the place. There's so much stuff going on. But I definitely think if Donald is saying this is our last one, it's going to be because we decide, because we see through the BS. We recognize what this holiday was created for. And so we decide that we don't want it anymore. Isn't it because he changes the rules and he decides we don't have, like, I mean, even if Donald came in and said, "Okay, well, we're not celebrating that anymore. Now we're all gonna get a fedora or whatever, Medora, whatever the candelabra thing, and we're all gonna light candles and do that whole celebration." No way would all the people do that. It's just ludicrous, and wouldn't matter if stores weren't selling the decorations and stuff. People already have them. So many people have decorations. You can go to the thrift store and buy more decorations. So it's what were they? Oh, Donald's gonna outlaw it or something. It's just it seems absurd to me, and so that just seems like more of a paranoia, fear to think that Donald could do that. What is it, Stella? Okay, you're fine. Okay, do you want to come over here and lay? Is that your problem? They're closer? You don't like it when they're more close to me than you? You can come over here. I'll move the ottoman. You can come over here and lay down. Okay, please stop whining. Let me finish what I'm doing, okay? Oh, lady, you're fine. You got the whole bed to yourself. I don't know what you're whining about. I'll be done in a minute. She's so dramatic. Oh, my God. Okay, here she goes. Ay, 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 ay. Peace. Find my peace. So, anyways, let's see. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So I don't see how Donald, with all his major presence in the world, would be able to say that we're no longer celebrating it. But that's what people are like. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on that he gets blamed for that I think he is trying to bring to the surface. There's more and more stuff always with this Erica fucking character. And now there's all these people like, well, she knew Donald before she knew Charlie. And now the links of who took Charlie out and stuff. And so I don't know if they're trying to be like Donald now is in cahoots with the people over in the real who are really running the world, and that he and Erica took out Charlie or something, and Candace. And I was thinking, on some of the things that some of the people, I don't know, but she is a part of the drama. So I don't know. Maybe she's a better actress than Erica. I don't know. Or maybe Erica is supposed to be this stale and this annoying. Like now they had another place. Like every day she's out speaking. Every day she's got something going on, and a money-making situation. And then they got these big explosions and stuff coming for her to come out on stage and stuff. It's like, this is ridiculous. And this is supposed to be a woman who just tragically, I just can't even, like, what in the world with our fucking world? And who is on board with this and think that this is, like, completely normal? What are you... And I know that there's people who really like Charlie who just went right in with Erica and think like, well, now she's doing the work. It's like, why don't you stop and question, like, what the hell is going on? Like, why is she out here doing all this when she just lost her husband and she's got these two kids that are supposed to be suffering that just lost their dad tragically? It's like, this is just odd. I just don't know how people accept such strange behavior. So, it's like that people make excuses for what it is that they want it to be. So if they want it to be a certain way, then they make excuses for the people who are, you know, to me, seem shady as fuck. Like that fucking creep ass preacher guy who always looks like some sort of devil. I don't even know his name. But, how does he still have people who follow along? All these people, and there's so many churches and stuff. There's so much stuff being exposed, and they're all involved. Like, it all has to do with the same corrupt business. And it doesn't mean every single pastor and every single church. There's just tons and tons, but definitely, especially when you get up there to these mega churches, it's like, I don't know. And it's such a desperation to me that, when people start feeling their spiritual side, that it's like, well, there's a God and there's Jesus and God's over us. God's making decisions every day to affect us, and we got to kiss his ass or he's going to destroy us. And then to worship Jesus and stuff. It's like, that's not high vibration, and it is going to keep people trapped in a different experience. I mean, but that is the experience they're here to experience, so can't really necessarily say it's a trap. But when you see past it, you can see that it is a trap, and how it works in this society of keeping you small, keeping something over you, something else in control of you. And it's such a part of our society, it's a victim mentality too, of not taking responsibility. But anyways, that's the whole thing I talk about all the time. But so I don't think that I think that Christmas could be easily canceled, but it would definitely be because the people see through it. The people don't want it anymore. And who knows what all is going to happen, especially over 2026. The whole time, there's going to probably be so much stuff going on. I'm sure there's going to be stuff just like the year of the horse. There's going to be just, I don't know, I see it like a stallion or something, like the horse is running free, like this big energy. And it's going to be like impactful. And even though it starts in the beginning of February, I would still say we're in this transitional period where anything can be happening. Everything is going to be about changing and the shedding of what was, and going towards riding a bucking bronco into our new future. That's funny too, because in the micro macro, during different times of change, during different times of war and stuff, we rode horses. Horses pulled, like, it makes me see, like, in like Julius Caesar or something, and they were on these like little wagon things, these little crate things, and the horses would be pulling them into battle, and they would be passing each other fighting, or the ones that would be up on horses fighting and stuff. Like, horses have carried us into battles, and it's like this energy of the horse is carrying us into this battle, this finale of change that is occurring in our society. So I would say that this is going to be the big battle. 2026 is going to be very episodic. It's going to be very climatic. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. And so I don't know. I find it's funny too, because for so long, we were all like, oh my God, it's going so slow. Everything's going so slow. But I think it's going to really pick up steam. And there's going to be stuff like happening all the time. Like the silver went up again, and now it's at 85. And there's more stuff going on with that. There's more stuff going on. Everything is happening is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And But also on this case of Erica and Donald, that's the thing about Donald. He has brought lots and lots of people onto the stage to expose what's going on. And I don't know if Erica is the true player, if Erica is the person who is bringing in certain information. But it is always what he is bringing to the front of the stage is always about exposing. It's about us seeing the truth. It's been playing out this whole time. So whatever his connection would be with her, I would say it would be because that's his kind of his role in this whole thing is to, I don't know, kind of take the brunt of the negative energy and to keep bringing it to the forefront of our sight to recognize these different players and the situations that are going on in our society. But still, even in the breakdown of our society, that's not the biggest thing. The biggest thing is us and the way we're trapped. And that is us to want to not be trapped anymore is what creates this other world. And so it's not, I don't know, it's just like it's a different level than what I hear people saying of what it is that we're the disclosure is about and how it's going to change the stuff. And it is like us recognizing the truth just pushes us into finding ourselves and finding ourselves. And there's going to be more bad things too. There's going to be bad things. It's going to make people really value life and family. And it's like changing their priorities from how people are right now. It's going to like flip. So many things are going to be flipping into the opposite of what they are. And that's what, to me, all the things that he's like exposing to us is to like promote our own sovereignty of our morals, of like what it is that we want in this world, and to push us more towards our self and our soul in that expansion than just this. But in that also becomes this part of you where you don't want to support the bad guys. It's like, well, I'm not supporting that anymore. I'm not getting that anymore. I'm not helping that. And because that's how this world has continued to grow in this toxic way, is because we supported this negative and toxic people. And for what, a lot of it's out of ignorance and out of convenience. And so, but it was our choices. So we chose to carry on and overlook and participate in these ways that we have to awaken to. And that's the truth. That's the truth coming out. And that's what causes the change, is because you have to face yourself. You can't just blame it on these pervs and stuff, because we supported them. We allowed this to go on for a long, long time. And that's the part of ourselves that we need to look at, to dissect and understand ourselves, of why we participated in the ways we participated, and how do we break free and become separated from this toxic environment and this toxic reality. And in that doing and becoming, that is the creation of something new and something different. And so that's how that comes about, is because it's created by the people who break free and want something different. And so they begin to create this other world. And then the people who are all like trapped in these different these different chains, these different cages of this toxic world, that's still things that they have to play through. It's still things that they have to learn and recognize and see. And then some of them, they haven't seen it from enough sides, that they haven't learned and grown out of it. So they have to go in and learn more perspective. And the goal, which I hear, even this character, is the goal is about coming together. It's about love and acceptance, and that's the goal of you in your ways of sovereignty and your purpose is going towards this learning how to love yourself, learning how to love everybody else, and learning how to have the day you want to have. It really is, that's what it all comes down to. And so that's why I always say you can't go wrong when you're focusing on those things, when you're focusing on healing yourself. And you can't just jump in. Like, you can learn how to forgive. Like, you've got people you hold on to resentment and anger, and you feel vengeful and all that stuff, and you can learn how to forgive. And the biggest thing is learning that everybody is suffering, everybody has pain, nobody is this like, people do things, but they don't do it out of well, there's people who do things out of being hateful, but a lot of people are so broken that they don't know what else to do. And so when you start recognizing that we live in a world full of broken people that are lost, then you have to learn how to let go of your anger and resentment. Because how can you hold on to anger and resentment towards people who are broken and have no idea what they're doing, and they're just reactive in society, and their reaction is to try and protect themselves because they don't want to be hurt. So that is the way that you can start working on the forgiving other people. So you can work on, it's not just go straight into loving everybody, but it is learning how to forgive people, not to take things personally. That's a big problem. And that's where you have to recognize too. It's like your own hurt feelings is why you take things the way you take them. And someone may not mean it at all the way that you take it, but you take it how you perceive. And that's what you're trying to heal. That's why you got to heal yourself. And when you love yourself, you don't take things that other people do and say as being so, it doesn't hurt you so much. When you learn how to love yourself, when you don't love yourself, every mean thing that somebody says to you is like another stab in the heart. It's like they're just reaffirming to you how you feel about yourself. And so that's why there's so much mending that you have to do to your own heart. But when you're trying to learn how to love other people, it has to do with forgiving. And a lot of things too is taking responsibility for yourself in situations, not just blaming others for how you feel. And well, they did that, so it's their fault I feel this way. It's like, well, your feelings are coming from inside of you, and your feelings are not just coming from inside of you. They're trying to communicate with you. They're trying to get you to see what they're linked to so that you can work on it and you can let go of whatever it is that's holding you down. It's like an anchor to your soul. And so you want to recognize those situations as opportunities so that you can, drop the anchor, take the bars off your cage, unchain yourself from these things that bind you. And so so in your sense of forgiveness is also looking at other people as not, they have control over you and how you can feel, but that you have the control over you. But you will like submit or give in to what others want or think, and that's a part of you that it has to mend, has to heal. And so it always shifts back to you. It always shifts back to you having to learn how to love yourself. That's why, to me, it starts with the learning to love yourself first. And in that process, you have to really learn to forgive yourself. And you have these things that pop up all the time, like just replay. Like last night, the energy was so intense, and here I am reliving these freaking toxic ass relationships. And I'm just like, what in the world? Why? And it's not like that there's just all these answers, but there's this like recognizing and forgiving yourself and letting go. And then but there is things that are attached to different parts of you, or different things that hold on to you. And then some of these people, it also has to do with this these cosmic or karmic attachments that you have, these entanglements with these other souls. And so certain things have to play out, and so certain things you just got to learn how to let go of them. And it's like a very complex kind of process, and that's why it's so much better for you to be able to communicate with your higher self to give you guidance through your healing, because otherwise you aren't really in the crux of yourself. If you're just following along what somebody else does, and that would be what they need to do, but yours could be different. Like where I'm sitting here thinking, I'm replaying these relationships, and I need to just forgive myself. And the reason I know I need to forgive myself is because I still feel when they start going on replay, I'll start kicking myself in the ass and being like, what in the hell was I doing? Why was I doing that? Why? And then like on one of the guys, I was like, how did I even meet him? Like, what in the world? And then you start going like backward. I still can't remember how the fuck I met him. And, but it was during my Hollywood time. And so, I started replaying some different situations, and it's just like, oh my God, what in the world? And so I know it's something I still need to let go of, this feeling of, that I'm not good enough, or that makes such stupid decisions, or neediness, or desperation, or whatever, because I would have no feeling. When I saw it, I wouldn't feel anything. It would just be like nothing. But since I feel something, there's something there that I need to let go of. And the thing that stands out to me in regards to these situations is the acceptance of myself. To, yeah, you do some dumbass shit in this world. You do things out of desperation. You do things out of discomfort. You do things out of, for all different reasons. And reasons what you don't want to associate with yourself. You want to think that you're all that. And really, you are a mess. And but you have to recognize what a mess you are in order to start putting the pieces back together. And there's so much that has to do with accepting yourself and seeing yourself as worthy and valuable. And that's the whole thing about learning how to love yourself. And once you do get to that point, then it starts making it easier. But like my stuff played out in its own direction. Like there was so many things that had to play out with boundaries for me. Like I really had to learn how to have boundaries in all different situations. And every time I would learn, then I would think, oh, I completed that task, and then something more difficult would come in. And it was like, oh my God, this is so hard. And because a lot of us don't want to stand up to other people. We don't want to hurt other people's feelings. Like they'll hurt our feelings, but we don't want to hurt their feelings. And it takes a lot to be able to say, wait a minute, my feelings are important too. And no, I'm, drawing the line here. And so, everybody's journey is different. It depends on what you came to work on. It depends on what things that you have to deal with yourself to become your best version of yourself. And it can play out in a lot of different ways. So definitely mine had to do with boundaries, learning how to love myself, accepting myself, not being hard on myself, and in prioritizing myself. Like I put other people's feelings ahead of my own for so much of my life, always worried about what they had going on or what they were thinking. And so, and then you have to like look at that. It's not like them demanding it from you. You are doing that to yourself. And that's where you got to learn how to overcome those things. Like, what is it? Why am I doing that? Why am I keep doing it? And then some of it has to do with these karmic entanglements and stuff. And once you go through and like accept certain situations and let go of them and stuff. It's like you let go of the entanglement and you can move forward. But it's not as easy as just saying like, oh, just forget about it. No, because it will keep coming back. Like there's certain situations and certain things that played out in my life and certain people that just come knocking at the door every once in a while to remind me. And then I get this feeling back of like, oh my God. And so then it's like, oh, I still have some to let go of. I still have more to let go of. And so, and that's what, this whole time on this planet right now has to do with. It has to do with this, letting go of these entanglements and really letting go of all of this this emotional debris that binds you to these low vibrational experiences, and they're really focusing on what it is you want of being accepted and having the love that you put out come back to you, this glorifying of self, this going into a world where you feel good and know that you deserve it. You deserve to feel good. You deserve to have good things happen for you. But a lot of people, they don't feel that way. I've seen some people now, kind of steering a little bit more on the manifesting and starting to say like, well, the reason you're not getting the things that you want is because you don't feel you deserve them. And that's, it all has to do with the journey to your higher self. The journey to your healing is figuring out, so you can get to a world where good things happen and you feel that you deserve them, that you are plenty, you are valuable, you are worthy, and you are here to have the experience that you want to have, And so that's the whole thing, though, of getting to this better world. But it's all of the people who decide to do this work on themselves as the creators of this new world. And it's a world where people are valued, but it's because they learn how to value themselves. And then the world becomes, where we value everybody else, but we also have to go through this particular part of this forgiving and not holding on to anger and resentment and being rigid and hateful, and really to understand what this place is all about. And it's the healing journey. And especially at this point in time, is about this healing journey for letting go of the past and letting go of the pain and suffering and moving into a world that we create into a better place. And so, and it's going to have a lot to do with letting go of the world that we exist in, because it was created in a containment for us to suffer, basically. So, anyways, and I do think that there's all sorts of beings out here. I think that this isn't just an earthling thing. I think that we have a connection to a lot of different beings. Like I even saw a video where somebody was like, do you think aliens have souls? It's like, dude, everything that has energy, your soul is your energy. So if you have energy that keeps you alive, you have a soul. So you are the energy. It depends on how you focus on yourself. But everything that's alive has energy. Everything that is alive has a soul, essentially, if that's how you want to look at it, because everything has the energy. And a lot of beings that people think are aliens, that are other dimensional beings, that they are higher dimensional. So they're more advanced than us. And so their soul is bigger than I'm not necessarily bigger, but let's, because we'd all have to come out and be in our soul bodies if we want to really compare. And then there is no comparison. When you really get up in the higher vibrations, we're not comparing ourselves to each other like that. But but a lot of these beings are very focused on love and acceptance and spiritual and all of that kind of stuff. And so they are high vibration, especially in the vibration where we're at. There's a lot of places out there where you think like aliens exist and they don't have hate and killing, all this horrible stuff. They love and they take care of things because it's in their heart. And so that's where, we're breaking out of our toxic hearts and coming into the little, the soft, cushiony inside that is vulnerable. We're bringing our vulnerable sides to the surface, and it can be scary because people don't want to be hurt. And we have got lifetime after lifetime after lifetime of being hurt and hurting others. So, and that's, our karmic entanglements that we have. So, anyways, but it's, that's where you hold your most value, is this learning how to love yourself and learning how to love everybody else. And then trying to figure out how to focus, like even all this drama and all this stuff going on, to not get caught up in it and to move your focus into how it affects you and what it is that you need to look at on your own self. If you put yourself under a microscope, what are you looking at? And these things that are happening are only to bring out certain parts of you so that you can bring them to the surface, so you can let go of things. But that is where you got to be more tuned in spiritually to yourself so that you can recognize what it is you're supposed to be doing at this point. And so, anyways, that's why I would say, this learning to love yourself, learning to love everybody else, and learning how to have the day you want to have is the most primary thing of what's going on here. And, just the thing about all the pervs in this made up world that we exist in is only to me, to really help you recognize that you're in a trap, that this is not your real world. This is a trap, and you've got to break free from it. You can't just keep yourself, if you just keep focusing on it, then you continue in the trap. So you got to figure out how to let go of it and to move out of it. And then, like when you move out of it, you end up living in fucking tents and cars and garages and everything because it's their world. But we're going to create a new one where, we will all be able to live the way we want to live. But we got to take it's the in-between. It's the bridge to cross to get in there. And you have to let go of things and move out of what it is that keeps us trapped in this world. And you have to recognize it for yourself. And a lot of it is very comfortable for some people. And it's like, well, why would I want to give this up? And so, anyway, but everybody's on a different journey. Not everybody's here on the same journey. So, just because, one person is supposed to give up everything and move out of that realm, that doesn't mean that that's what everybody's supposed to do. That's why you can't just follow along with somebody else's journey. You have to recognize your own journey. You have to focus on what it is that your higher self is trying to tell you. So, anyways, we'll see. There's like no telling what's going to happen today. Everything feels super intense. I'll tell you that. Energy is super intense. Things are just keep happening and happening. It's emotional. Everybody's getting like, oh, and I'm seeing so many people, like even spiritual people that just are really getting their ass kicked. And so many people just want to give up. So many people are just fed up. And so, and this is people who have been out there leading, people. And I, no judgment. I've felt like that many a days. I've gotten up and like, what the hell am I doing? What do I even know what the fuck I'm talking about? Like, what the hell am I doing? So, anyways, we all have our battles. That's for sure. And that's what, we really need to focus on our own. And so we'll see what today's offerings are on this battlefield. But I do think this Utah thing does seem concerning, just as, all these earthquakes and volcanoes and the Ring of Fire, all these things, and there's big changes on our landscape. I know that. So things are going to continue happening, and we do need to be aware and be prepared. And in some cases, we do need to, move to other places. So, but to me, very much about the door opens. I'm really, I spent a lot of my life trying to force doors open thinking that I had to make my own way. And it took me a long time to realize that no, you got to get into the groove. You got to go in with the flow. Things happen for you, and they happen on timing. It's all this direct timing. Everything is set like on this clock. And so you have to learn how to let things happen naturally, and doors will open for you. If you're meant to go, you don't have to run around pounding on doors and panicking and trying to pry open windows. That doors will open for you to lead you, to show you in the direction you're meant to go. And you can get there and a lot of times be like, what am I doing? What am I doing? What is happening? And it may not make no sense. But a lot of times things that make no sense, they make sense once you're past it. Once you go past it and you look back, then it's like, oh, that makes sense now. Now I get it. So, and that, that was so much of my life. That is how I was able to recognize my patterns of behavior and start breaking free from them, is going past something and looking back. And then, but when you're looking back, you got to be real with yourself. You got to be honest with yourself. You can't sit there blaming everybody else for how you feel. So, anyways, we'll see what this day brings us now. It's supposed to be our new year. This is our last day of 2025. So, we'll see how it goes out with a bang. There's a lot of places too that shut it down. They're not doing celebrations, which seems a little concerning. Like, what is to come tonight? What is it? Do they know something we don't know? Probably. So, but it could also be a fear factor. Try and get everybody paying attention to that and concerned about that, because the more time we waste on their little games that they play with us, the less time that we work on ourselves. And that's what we need to be doing. That's the primary thing. You want to get to a new world, you got to create a new character. So you got to let go of the old character and become a new character. In the old character where you didn't like yourself too much, you got to really flip that shit and flip that switch and become somebody you love, somebody you adore, somebody you appreciate. And then you'll have times that just kick your ass all night to remind you and bring you back down a little. Like, you're not perfect. You do stupid ass shit. You've done a lot of stupid shit. So anyways, but that's, we're all on our own journey. I know that, and we'll see what today brings to kind of bring things to the surface. So anyways, we'll see what happens today, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.